Ba-da-da, and welcome back to Balancing Unhinged. My name is Amber Shah. I'm the Shah of Saint Augustine. I'm living the dream, and I'm just here to welcome you to the podcast where we all talk about navigating the first world, living in Saint Augustine, Florida, real estate, some yoga classes, breathing exercises, and trying to keep it all together. I'm your host. I'm the queen of living the dream, Amber Shah, the Shah of Saint Augustine. And today, I just want to talk about something. Is it a perfect storm of unhinged, what has been going on in my life recently? First, huge and heartfelt thank you to all of our veterans. Today is November 11th. It is Veterans Day, year of our Lord 2025. And this particular day is November 11th. And on 11/11, all the ones with numerology, they say it's a very auspicious thing. Very good luck, very good things going on today. So, thanks to our veterans. My dad was actually in the Air Force. I was almost in the Marine Corps. I don't think it counts, but sometimes I'll take it, whatever. But anyways, your service and sacrifice are the reason we have the freedom to live these crazy lives here in our United States of America. And today is a holiday, so the kids are home from school, which is fantastic, especially since I don't homeschool. So, who needs those kids in school anyways? That would be great, except my son is currently burning up with a fever in my bed and has been there just about all day. I'm actually a little bit nervous, and I've been hobbling around on one foot, and I hurt my foot last week, my left foot, while I was at softball. I'll tell you what happened. I was batting. I had two softball games last week on Monday, and the beginning of the first game, I was up to bat. And I hit the ball. It was a bad hit, I'll admit. But when I let go of the bat, instead of dropping it to my side, which I usually do, I swear this might have been like the first time in my entire life that I've ever actually hit my foot with my own bat when I was putting the bat down. Oh my God. So much pain, so much pain. So I got a blunt force trauma to the foot, and it was to the top of the front of the foot. If you can find the edge of your foot here when you find your ankle bone, and then you slide it towards your pinky toe, as soon as you get down into that divot, you'll find another lump. And that's what I hit, man. But dude, it was like I smashed. Have you ever seen that show? You ever seen that movie Misery with Kathy Bates and Michael Kahn, I believe, might have been in it. And she sledgehammered his foot to the side. Like, dude, that's what my mental, honestly, I'm literally got PTSD just talking about it. But whew, I saw that movie Misery over 20 years ago when I was in high school in a psychology class. I don't know why they made us watch that. It was messed up. Anyways, but yeah, it was a crazy movie. But that's how I felt. And I thought that I broke my foot. I thought that I smashed my own foot with my bat. But I played 2 games after that. I played the whole game right after that. And then the next game, we had another game. So then I came home, I collapsed. And all last week, I was in my bed with my foot up all last week. So I'm a personal trainer. In personal training, you say if you get an injury, then an acute injury treatment would be something like the acronym called RICE, which stands for RICE, rest, ice, C, compression, E, elevation. So forever and ever, a lot of people have been doing RICE that are trained in first aid or taking care of acute injuries. So then, I swear a year or 2 ago, I just came across another acronym that is MEAT. And it was like, oh, we're going to use MEAT now instead of RICE. And I was like, why would we do that? I don't know. Anyways, I just work here. So I was reading about MEAT, and I believe that it was MEAT. Like, my body is one piece of meat. I am a meat popsicle. Remember that from Fifth Element? So then they had the MEAT, what is supposed to be movement. So keep moving, don't stay still is kind of part of it. So it's really hard not to stay still when it hurts a lot. So every time it moves, it hurts. Oh my God, right? So then I was hobbling around or trying not to walk, but the first day, I swear I fell 2 or 3 more times because my foot hurt so bad. And somebody I was just talking to my team. So then last night, all week I was in bed. And then on Saturday, I finally got out of bed. One of my neighbors invited me to go to her house for a little bit. And she actually had a boot, like one of those air cast boots. And it's around here somewhere, but I was using that for a day or two. And day one, though, I literally got crutches because it was so bad. So I've sprained my ankle 6 times throughout my life or more. But 3 of those times, in the beginning times, back when I was like a teenager, I would go to the hospital, sit in the waiting room forever in agonizing pain. And then I would go there, they'd poke me and make me in more agonizing pain. They'd maybe give you an x-ray, and then they would tell me, like, nothing's broken, just go home, it still hurts in 2 weeks, come back. So I've been disappointed by that process, like, so many times that I was like, dude, like, honestly, I was telling my husband, I swear to God, I broke my freaking foot. I don't need an x-ray to tell me that I broke my foot. It's broken. So, I don't think it's broken, which is cool. But, so I was like holding on to it. I was cradling it with my hands and stuff. And I was trying to do Reiki with it and whatever, because I was literally in my bed for over, 6 hours or something during the daytime when my kids weren't here. So then, keeping it up on a pillow. And then I was starting to wear a knee brace because my knee was starting to hurt. Oh man. How are you? Anyways, so enough about my knee and my ankle. It's keeping me, it's, helping me like really meditate, I guess, on other stuff. And I'll tell you, one meditation that I absolutely hate, all right, is like, oh, be happy that you don't have it as bad as that guy over there or whatever. Like, I don't want to be pointing at people and being like, oh yeah, their life absolutely fucking sucks. I'm so glad I'm not that guy. No, I don't want to do that. All right. I just want to be happy that I'm me or whatever. So I was like, I'm going to, be happy or whatever. So, but then I was like getting a cold. I was feeling like I was getting a cold, and I was like, oh my God, do I have like a broken bone? Do I have an infection now in my foot? Am I getting an infection? Am I going to die of an infection? Am I going to, oh my God. When you're sitting there forever, like your mind just keeps going. I ended up writing a poem. I wrote a funny poem that I want to share with you just because I can. So here is my poem I wrote for you. And it goes like this. If I broke a clay pot, it would not hurt a lot. You would not even call a cop. My mom would call me a flop. But when I broke my left foot, I thought of all the time it took for me to grow such a perfect foot. Now, when I go in for a closer look, I know time can pass faster with a book. If the story lacks a hook, I'll be waiting for a cannibalistic cook. That was ode to my left foot. And then I made another one, and it was, I called it Warrior, and that one was a little bit different, but I'll show you that one in a minute here. Hold on, where is it? If I can find it. All right. So it goes like this. Hiding the plight and being the light will win the fight in your life, and it won't be long till you sing your song. The enemy will be gone, so ring the gong. That was Warrior. So I wrote 2 poems while I was broken foot action, 2 different days, because I was like so sad. I was like, I might never walk again. And then, so Saturday I got this boot from my neighbor, and then on that next day I started like walking around the house and just putting pressure on my foot. It felt so weird. And I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to walk again. Every single time, like my foot touched the floor, it hurt so bad. And then only my heel, then it got better and better. And then Monday, I was able to walk around the house and I was like limping and stuff, but still parts of my heel were hurting. So then I wanted to go to my softball game. But on Sunday, I was texting my team being like, I don't think I can go. I'm super hurt. I'm dying. So then on Monday, we were texting some more, and somebody convinced me to go, and I was like, all right, I'll go. But then I went on Monday night, and my husband was like, I can't believe you're going after you said that you were breaking your foot, you were dying, you were going to write a will. It was crazy. So then I go to my game on Monday night, and they were like, we only have 1 game tonight. I was like, oh, really? We don't have 2? We usually have 2. And they were like, no, well, I guess, no, just 1 tonight. And then they were like, I don't think the other team's coming. I was like, why wouldn't they come? I was like, honestly, I don't want to play because I want my foot to heal up more, because I'm worried that if I zig when I should have zagged, then I'm going to have an issue. So the other team didn't show up and I didn't even have to play. And then I got to go home. It was crazy. But that was my broken foot last week. That was only a week of broken foot. I'm pretty sure. Dude, it felt so broken. Okay, I've never broken a foot. I can't really say that I know what it's like. But if, like, I feel like I've got, like, a pretty good, like, proprioception. You do these, like, meditations. Can you visualize the inside of your left heel? Yeah, I can. You know, it's like, I feel like I could picture my own bones and stuff like that. I feel like there's stuff floating around in there. I don't know. So I kept holding on to it, trying to, like, press into different parts, see what I could do. It was nuts. I did a lot of energy last week on my foot. So, ode to my left foot. And sitting down in this quiet room to talk to all of you is the single most sane thing I'll do probably all day. This right here, this keeps me sane. And yeah, thanks to Buddha or, you know, Krishna or whoever. But the softball playoffs are right now. And we got a bye day yesterday. And we got a win or whatever. So that was awesome. It feels great. Like I'm trying to balance my entire life, even on just like one foot. Like all last week, I was just standing on my right foot, which is actually a perfect metaphor for what's going on in the St. Johns County real estate market right now. And it's going through its own wild, slightly unhinged balancing act, if you will. So I wanted to talk about that too. So the first thing you need to know is that the market, it's finally taking a collective deep breath, and we can all take a deep breath together. Ready? Inhale. And exhale. I have a little bit of allergies right now. Remember the frenzy, like the days of offering your firstborn child over to see a 2-bedroom condo? Well, that's over. And the resale inventory is up by 86% from last year, which for buyers is amazing news. You have choices, you can think. But for my sellers, it means that you have to be strategic. The homes are sitting for an average of 108 days right now, and the number of homes going under contract has dropped by over 27%, by over a quarter of offers. Pending sales is going down. And there's even the 7% fallout rate of contracts. So we've got 27% less contracts, and we have 7% less contracts coming to the closing table. So just like when your kid gets a fever and everything slows way down, the urgency has chilled out. So things are slowing down. That must mean prices are plummeting, right? No, not so fast. Because think of this. This is the second, and this is the most complicated part of our marketing puzzle. The median home price in St. Johns County is still $489,000. The schools here are amazing. They are top notch in the state. So if you're coming from out of state and you hear about, oh, education in Florida is terrible, so we need to go somewhere that has good education, which is exactly what I said when I moved here. That's why I moved here. I literally was going to go to Sarasota County and move to Northport, and they got red tide, and I ended up coming to Saint Augustine, Florida, which I knew nothing about this area except that they were the #1 school district in the state. That's why I came here. So we have amazing beaches. I have been to the Caribbean. I've been to many Caribbean islands and beaches, and St. Augustine Beach is so beautiful that when I moved here, the next year I went to the Bahamas, and I was like, dude, this beach isn't even that nice. So people want to be here. That's the unhinged part. So we're seeing some cracks between the surface. There are over 5,300 involuntary liens filed on properties in this county last year. So if you want to get into lien certificates, let me know, because I'm going to get into that. We're going to do a training on that. So I'm going to do lien certificates. It's good stuff. It's a good investment opportunity. But we've got some involuntary liens. But there's lots of stuff that you need to know about that, which is why you want a good realtor. And that's why when there's like a sign that some homeowners, even with all this equity on paper, are struggling with actual costs like taxes, all right? Because we're going to have increased taxes every single year. And there are a lot of people over here that just own property that don't even own buildings on their property. So they own vacant land that they pay taxes on every single year. And some of them are just not paying the taxes. But what happens to that? I want to talk to you guys about that, okay? That's a classic first world problem. House rich, cash poor. All right. I'm going to do another show one of these days about how I pay $800 a month on my mortgage. Okay. So I have a pretty nice house. It's not amazing. I don't have a mansion. It's not worth over $1 million. It's not even, I don't even know if it's worth 500. It's worth almost $500,000. And in Florida, that's just about the average price here. We just said $489. I think my house is worth around $450. Anyways, whatever. But I moved into my house. I was able to put 75% down on my house. Who does that? All right. So, and I live quite averagely. All right. I think. And also, I mean, we're a little bit bougie, but we're not cash poor over here. I want y'all to be liquid. So listen to me. I want to teach you how to be liquid. How do you get liquidity? How do you get spending money that is just there? Do you worry about money? I do on a certain level, right? But like daily, can I go out for lunch every single day? Sure. But like, you know, stuff like that. Like I would love to talk to you more about how liquid I am. Anyways, we'll talk about that another one. I can go on and on for that. But for now, it's real. It's real. It's a balancing act for many families. It's something that you have to come to terms with. And even more with this cooling market. I know it sounds stressful. In a cooling market, high prices, financial strain, it can feel overwhelming. But with the third thing happening going on right now, there could be a glimmer of hope. There's sanity amongst a little bit in the madness. The country is actually stepping up to address the affordability crunch. Allegedly, they've invested $1.2 million in infrastructure for a development called the Volusia Woods, which is right in West Augustine. So here, this project, it's going to be about 36 new affordable single-family homes. But 36 single-family homes, will that solve everything overnight? No. It's a start. I was actually, one of my friends was just talking to somebody from one of these organizations like Habitat or Humanity or something like that, where they get these like $300,000 homes built, and with the generosity of their donors, they're able to sell these homes to these people for around $100,000. So they get a beautiful $300,000 home for a price of around $100,000, so that it's more affordable for them when they're all living hand to mouth already. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there, okay? Read my book, Yoga and Sales. I'll tell you all about times when I was so broke, I didn't even know what I was going to do. And here we are. You have to work on that, all right? So that's the tea from Saint Augustine. It's like finally getting that dose of Motrin to work on your sick kid. It's like a sign that things are going to get better. So hopefully with the Habitat for Humanity working out and all of our communities getting together, St. Augustine also has a really nice new program, Dining with Dignity, that is also out in West Augustine. That's beautiful. But that's my tea. From the Shah of Saint Augustine, the market is rebalancing. Prices are a complex puzzle. One other thing that I'm coming up with right now is the motivation of sellers, like who needs to sell and why and how fast and whatever. So that's kind of holding prices too. There are some people that cannot afford to sell for less. There are some people that just refuse to sell for less. This is what I want. In St. Augustine, we were close to 96% on asking price to closing recently. So like in St. Augustine, particularly St. Johns County, St. John's versus St. Augustine. St. John's has like more new builds, I would say, so it's hard to compare St. John specifically to St. Augustine, but the pricing will remain similar due to the school districts. Nocatee also. I think Nocatee counts as St. Augustine or Ponte. I can't remember. I have to look that up. Either way, I'm going to go check this guy's temperature again. And I would love to, again, sincerely thank all of our veterans, whether you're in the Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, Army, Coast Guard, Reserves, retired, in boot camp. We appreciate you. And that doesn't have to be political at all. That is just to the humans, okay? Because if you're trying to make sense of this unhinged world and this unhinged market, try to find your own footing. Give me a call. I'm here to help you find your balance. Stay sane out there. And I'll see you next time. Hasta luego. Toasted bagel. Ciao. Caseo.